Hey, welcome back. A very funny video there. I always enjoy those little fillers. Right, it's now time for our lifestyle segment, proudly brought to you by Lipton Tea, the world's favorite tea brand. And I've had my mug of Lipton this morning already, but I'll still have one more before I leave. Right, so this morning we are looking at junk foods, and my guest, I'll get to my guest in a second, but it's been reported that at every corner of the streets these days, they make lunch and sometimes dinner for most busy people. And it's become a kind of, an easy go-to place for you to pick up food on the go. But with the prevalence of hypertension and heart-related diseases among the youth lately, the need for a healthy eating lifestyle has become very, very necessary. Precious Ankoma filed this report for us.
Common junk foods include fried rice and chicken, popularly known as chek, chicken and chips, kelewele, chofi, and fried pork with hot pepper. A new addition to the block is noodles mixed with fried eggs and sausages. People living busy lives are constantly overworked, sleep deprived, budgets challenged, and time starved. Instead of cooking or preparing meals at home, busy people often buy fast foods, which are usually loaded with saturated fats and calories.
I'm from work and I am tired. I can't cook for myself. I have a wife.
So why don't you go and eat your wife's food?
My wife is not in Accra yet.
So, instead of assuming that people eating junk food just lack the right nutritional information or the willpower and motivation, a better appreciation of their stressful and busy lifestyle might offer more effective solutions.
Anyone who relies so much on them is likely to become overweight or obese very soon. They are often very high in sodium because of the salt and cube content, and that can have a direct effect on the blood pressure of people who consume them. And consumption of such high energy foods repeatedly over a long period of time, according to some studies, have even been linked with the development of diabetes. I can't really advise people to take these wayside foods once a while under any circumstances. It is best to learn to eat proper meals. Our food resources are rich. If you get your banku and soup, you have your fufu and soup, boil your yam, plantain and all that. It's always better than falling on what we classify as junk foods.
Junk foods are said to be high in fat, sodium, and sugar, which can lead to obesity and a range of attendant health problems. Excessive dietary sodium can also have a negative effect on renal function, even leading to serious kidney complications. Eating too much junk food can make you feel really uncomfortable. It can lead to mood swings and constipation.
Just as you plan your career, plan your food and eating habit too very well. You can get your stews, you can pack your lunch and carry it to the office. It's possible. These are things that when people suffer from some of the diseases that these foods bring along, they are ready to make the changes. But to me, it's better you change the lifestyle to prevent the diseases rather than having them. Then at that point, you'll be compelled to effect the changes, you see. So let's plan well. Eat something before you leave home, even if it's just a cup of tea with the right kind of milk, skimmed milk. Then you pack your lunch along. Try and get home early to eat your properly made food at home as well. If you use the work as an excuse, one day if you develop stroke or a more serious heart condition, they can even employ somebody to do your work.
According to Dr. Wise, a healthy eating plan for busy people needs to be easy to start and easy to follow.
Junk means trash. Junk food is called that for a reason. It's just no good. Once in a while craving should not be a daily routine. Eat healthy.
Right, I'm already so hungry looking at all that delicious food on there. And it broke my heart to hear Precious say that junk food is trash food. Some of that food looked really, really nice. But of course, we've been told that there are certain dangers associated with them. This morning, my guest, Nana Kofi Owusu, is a dietitian, and he's going to tell us all about junk foods, the risk factors, the dangers, and if there's any good at all to junk foods. I mean, a lot of times we talk about the dangers and don't look at the other side. Now, we've heard that a recent study study from US and Irish researchers have said that certain junk foods contain a certain amount of antioxidants, which are actually very good for us and very good for the heart. So, but before I get to my question, I'd just like to say another big thank you to Lipton Tea for always sponsoring this segment. And like I said, I'll have another mug.
Yeah,
maybe I'll give you
it's always good to
exactly. You had some Lipton before the show this morning. Yes, we'll have another one.
To pep up, break the fast, get something that will stimulate you, get you active.
And Lipton is definitely not junk food, right? Okay, so let's get on with it. Is there any good at all, or anything good that we can derive from junk food?
Well, the only good thing I can say is about the quickness or the fastness with which you can prepare it. And it's easy to go, it's available, you don't have to spend time making it. It might look appealing, very, very appetizing.
Oh, they didn't.
Yeah,
food looks
mouth-watering.
I know.
And all that, but
it's
very
all
dangerous.
bad.
It depends on how you do it. If you going so high or heavy on the oils and you go so high on the salts and the sugars, then you are getting yourself into much problem.
Nana, can you just give us a few examples of certain foods that we can consider to be junk food? Because I've been told, for example, like pizza, some people consider pizza to be junk food, but I've been told that there are certain ingredients in there, like the tomatoes and the cheese, that are actually very good for us. And even the dough, which is made of is it corn flour or wheat flour or whatever, it's actually very good for us. So is pizza junk food?
It depends on which type you go for. There's vegetarian pizza. You can have your chicken in there, a little of the ham or whatever. But if it's wholly just cheese and pata and all the meat stuff,
those are the things that make it sweet.
Just sweet. I mean, sweet things kill.
Right.
So let's be moderate and choose the options that are healthy.
Right.
You could go for fried rice with a lot of vegetables.
Okay.
I have a joint
to kind of counter all the oils and everything bad in there.
Just drop the oils a bit, increase the vegetables in it. I have a place I buy rice.
Or maybe use olive oil instead of the other oil,
that you have
oil.
to moderate. Don't overdo it. Don't get it so soaked with oil.
So soche, like Nanaba would say. Okay, what about breakfast cereals? Like we've been told that they are also not so healthy. Especially because of the high levels of sugars and syrup and things. Some of these breakfast cereals on the market are not actually very ideal.
You go for options that are less sugar, okay? Or when you take them, you don't add a lot of sugar or milk to them. You go for whole grain. The Weetabix are ideal, your cornflakes. Go for varieties that don't have so much sugar on them. And then moderate. Use your skim milk like that. Instead, if you don't have skim milk, you can use semi-skim milk.
Skim milk is not the same as whole milk.
Well, yes. I mean, if you're talking about the taste,
it doesn't taste the same.
Of course, yes. But taste is subjective.
Acquired.
Yeah, subjective. You can decide that this taste is good for you, it's okay for you. Think more about your health. Do you eat to live, or you're just living to eat?
That's a difficult question to answer right now, because when that food is staring you in the face, that's a tough decision to make.
So we say that once in a while you could and tension and all the myriad of diseases that you can contract, and so we have to be on the watch out.
Okay, so in as much as you said that there are varieties that you can go for when it comes to these junk foods, is there any junk food in particular at all that you think is very, very dangerous? It's a killer, it's a no-no, under no circumstance we should go near it. There's no alternative to it at all.
Well, I don't.
What shouldn't we go close to?
I think that the deeply fried foods are very, very dangerous.
So fried chicken.
You can grill the chicken,
I actually prefer grilled chicken.
Or do a shallow fry. Don't have the
so the oils, the fats.
Yes, it's too much, and it comes so you need tissues to even pick the chicken and all that. You get some of the tatales very, very soaked with oil.
Right. Now you mentioned earlier at the beginning of the discussion about how fast these fast foods, these junk foods are. And it's very convenient. It's food that you can pick up on the go. So isn't it a convenient way for us to, kind of indulge instead of having to go and sit, especially for a busy person, a working professional, sort of taking time out to sit in a restaurant for hours on end to wait for your food. It's just easier to pick up some of these foods on the way. It's fast food.
Yes, it's fast. Fortunately for us.
And you said it's good that it's fast. It's
fortunately for us, we have other options that we can run to. Our Kofi Brockman our usual coffee brand. It's a
very healthy.
lifesaver.
Right.
It's a lifesaver. I mean, you go for it and you get your granules, you're good to go. Now, even there's boiled corn, even on the market. I mean, you could get that.
Or the roasted ones.
Even better, you know, boil it or you roast it. You have your whole grain over there with your fiber in there. You have your vitamin B in there. Very good for energy metabolism and all that.
Right.
So, I mean, I think these are options that we can do. You don't need to eat very heavy all the time.
Right.
You can go something which is moderate.
Okay.
And which will
now these foods we've agreed that are cooked very rapidly in haste, very quickly. Is there the healthy alternative that we can cook just as quickly? What can we cook as quickly as the fast foods that are still healthy?
I think baking is a good option. Grilling is a good option. Okay, you can do a stir fry. Stir fry.
You need a bit of oil.
A little, you said a bit. I like that. You see, you don't need
just
too
a little
much.
base.
A little base, and then you can even add water for moisture, just to help with the cooking, and that's very, very helpful. If you stir fry, I mean, if you really want to go on oil, stir fry, and use the right type of oils. Your olives, your sunflower, your soya bean, palm oil is not bad at all.
I hear coconut oil is also
virgin
very good.
Coconut oil.
Okay.
I mean, very good. And we are finding a lot of the coconut oils being bleached. They are overused, over and over, and they bleach them and they deodorize them, and they give it to us, and then we think we are having the best.
So virgin coconut
oil.
Okay. All right. So Amma has a few comments coming in from our viewers this morning. Let's see their views and thoughts on junk food. Amma, what are they saying? They're loving their junk food just like us, right?
I'm looking at the food behind me right now. I see some apim, some kotomre, some pear. I think I know what I'll be having for lunch. And that's healthy, actually.
It is very healthy.
Talking about junk food, a lot of people sending comments. Mami Esia Frama says, she gets junk food because it's affordable and easy to get. All right, thank you for that. Isaac Mali Apple says, easy to get and does not take time. All right, just as Sandra, you said. And Nana Efia says it's easy to prepare. Now, if we go over to the Facebook message, we just go over to Facebook right here. All right, so Godfred Nana Sanji says, well, it's simple. Junk food takes seconds to prepare, while real food takes hours. That is the definition of laziness in the part of our 21st century ladies. Yet they stroll through town seeking for real men. Hey, Godfred, okay. No comments there. All right, another message coming in from Richard Pele says, well, life is a choice, so they have their own reasons, I guess, for junk food. And let's see, Francis Venoyer says, people normally eat these junk food for pleasure, but people eat real foods for satisfaction. That's a good one, because as I'm looking at all that food there, initially my mouth was watering when I saw all that fried rice and chicken. But when I saw the apim and the contomere and the pear, I was like, satisfaction right there. Back to you, Sandra.
That Godfred was a regular rascal. I was talking about the apim, and I'd love to join you for lunch this afternoon.
I'm so there. We need to get everyone together. I think that's what we need to eat.
With the pear and everything, don't forget.
Oh, for sure. And eat with your hands.
Yes, of course. How else? Anyway, thank you so much for that. And there was a comment there from one Godfred. He's a regular rascal, talking about how women like junk food, but when it comes to men, we're looking for real men.
Yeah, you know.
And I mean, most of the comments were actually also based on how rapid and how quickly the fast food is as compared to real food, and they all kept mentioning real food. So we know there's real food and we know there's junk food. Well, let's make right decisions, I guess. There was also a comment that mentioned something about how fast foods are kind of like, they don't satisfy you in a sense. It's just food that you eat on the go because you're hungry, but it doesn't really give you satisfaction.
Sometimes
is that true?
It's really for the pleasure of it. It's very true. I mean, you have a pump or a desire to take a particular food. It's a craving for many people, and they want to eat it. If they don't get it, they are not okay. So they might just.
So you actually overeat when you eat junk food, because I'm thinking.
I mean, you finish, you go and eat your main meal again. And
so very low in
I mean, then you become obese. you start getting the pot bellies.
That's what we don't
parliamentary assets, and it begins to give you diabetes, hypertension. And
so they're low in satiation value as well.
Yeah,
they won't satisfy you at all.
In a very, very risky.
Okay. What about integrating the junk food with the real food, like we've been saying? Maybe you can still have how can you still have your regular fried rice or whatever? Maybe add a bit of green, healthy salad to it.
Yeah.
Will that work?
That's what I'm saying. You can do that, but just limit the oils you're adding to the fried, and then limit the amount of artificial.
So you can still go on and eat your burger, but maybe have a nice green salad on the side.
Inside
to balance it.
Yes, make the meat a little thin, or even get it there and make a low
thin
fat
burger.
Make it a low fat burger, a low fat one. Don't fry it again.
Okay, grill the
burger. Okay. Or even if you're frying it, don't use too much oil.
Okay.
And keep it.
Right. Okay, now let's talk about diets itself. How often should one see a dietitian?
I think going to see a dietitian every month. Won't be bad at all. Just check your weight status. We have something we do, BMI, body mass index. We check it for you. We do your weight sacrifice. Actually, your weight is around your navel region, and not on your hip region or your hip bone region. So you do the waist circumference, find out if
the size of your waist will determine how big you are. Is that what we're saying?
It will determine whether you are healthy or not. If it's above a certain, for men, if it's above 102 centimeters, then you are centrally obese.
What about for women?
For women, I think it's 91.
91.
Yes.
I'll check that today.
Yeah.
But okay. Let's talk about. Do you have a lot of people coming to see you?
Yeah, we have a lot of people coming. Mostly people who have disease conditions.
People who have problems. We're talking about the habit or the culture of going to see a dietitian.
Health conscious people also come. Somebody just come, please check me out. I want to check my weight. I want to do my BMI and give me some routine labs. Do my lipid profile for me, which I advise everybody to do once a year or every 6 months. Do your lipid profile, cholesterol. Find out where you stand, because it's a #1 killer for many people. Heart attacks are coming in,
especially among the youth.
Yeah,
it's very scary.
And it's because of these junk foods. People's hearts are beating at a faster rate than they are supposed to because of too much artificial flavors.
Okay, but we are being told by these US and Irish researchers that some of these junk foods are actually very good for you, in that we derive a lot of antioxidants. Things like red wine.
Yeah.
They say it's very good for the heart. We've talked about popcorn. I've heard popcorn is also very good.
Yeah.
And what else? Is it true, first of all?
I think that with the red wine, it's overly stretched. I mean, what makes the red wine good is the grapes that they use.
I've also heard that if you are not a drinker, you can have grape juice, red grape juice,
and it's the same.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah,
So the drinkers are trying to.
When you are drinking, there's a limit to how much you can drink.
But with grape juice, you can drink as much.
Go.
So if you're not a drinker, you can have grape juice. But if you are a drinker, red wine every now and then is fine.
Take them in moderation.
How much is okay
maybe
to take?
A glass
Every day or every meal?
Not every day, not every meal.
So once a day?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
A glass of red wine a day is enough.
It's
what about popcorn? I've heard popcorn is also good. Is that true?
Popcorn, yes, is fine, but don't put the butters and don't overdo the salt.
Then you're taking all the fun from it. Exactly.
Just take them in little. I mean, we have a challenge with self-control. Moderation is the word. If we do that, we'll stay away from the doctor. Just moderate it. I'm not saying don't enjoy these
all
things,
the nice
but
things.
just
Everything in moderation.
Yes, that's the key.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Nana Kofi Owusu is a dietitian, and he's been talking to us about junk foods and the dangers associated with them. And you heard him say it's not all bad as long as you eat everything in moderation and try to balance it. Not too much of the fatty and oils and the fried things. Just balance them with some healthy green salads and apims and things like we're going to have later today, and you should be fine.